Today we'll be working in my workbook called Preparing to Leave Mount Sinai. This is called Census and Formation, and it's on chapters 1 through 4 of Numbers. This is a first part of a two-parter, really, because the second book will also be preparing to leave Mount Sinai on chapters 5 through 9. Anyway, going to the table of contents, if we can. Come on, there you go. We have already completed the first chapter, which was preparing to count the 12 tribes. Now we are actually going to do the census. Chapter 2, the census of the 12 tribes, numbers 1, 20 through 54.
From the descendants of Reuben, the firstborn son of Israel, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name, one by one, according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Reuben was 46,500. From the descendants of Simon, all the men 20 years or older years old or more who were able to serve in the army were counted and listed by name, one by one, according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Simon was 59,300.
It's Simeon, by the way, Simeon,
Oh,
not
it's
Simon.
Simeon? Oh,
Yeah.
Simeon. Okay.
Simon wouldn't have the E, so Simeon. Now we're going to have the count of all eligible men. This does not include ineligible men as well as all women and all children. It is guesstimated that this count will represent 70% of the total men. If you add an equal number of women and then add 20% of the number for children, you should have a good idea of the total amount of Israelites. Let's see what that gives us. How many eligible men from the Reuben tribe?
46,500.
How many eligible men from the Simeon tribe?
59,300.
And how many total men so far?
105,800.
Okay.
But the descendants of Gad, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Gad was 45,650. From the descendants of Judah, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Judah was 74,600.
Right. And it's just a little interesting note. Notice here, Gad doesn't round up. It puts like 50. All the others are rounded up or down, or whatever. But Gad is the only one that has that for some reason. Don't know why. How many eligible men from the Gad tribe?
45,650.
And how many eligible men from the Judah tribe?
74,600.
How many total eligible men from Gad and Judah?
120,250.
And how many total men from the prior page?
105,800.
So how many total men so far?
226,050.
And which tribe's eligible men is the largest so far?
Judah.
And which tribe's eligible men is the smallest so far?
Gad.
Okay.
From the descendants of Issachar, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe Issachar was 54,400. From the descendants of Zebulun, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of the clans and families. The number of the tribe of Zebulun was 54,400.
Yeah, 57,400, yeah. How many eligible men from the Issachar tribe?
54,400.
How many eligible men from the Zebulun tribe?
57,400.
How many total eligible men from Issachar and Zebulun?
111,800.
And how many total men from the prior page?
226,050.
And how many total men so far?
337,850.
What tribe's eligible men is the largest so far?
Zebulun.
The largest so far? Isn't it Judah?
Well, on this page,
Judah is 70. Oh, yeah, I was talking so far. Judah is the largest so far.
I thought you meant on this page.
Yeah, no, Judah so far. What tribe's
okay,
eligible
Judah.
men is the smallest so far?
So far, well then I have to go back and look because I got Issachar. The smallest would be Reuben.
Okay. Is it Reuben?
No, it would be Gad.
Yeah,
Gad.
I think it's Gad. Yeah.
Gad. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I misunderstood that.
No problem.
Oh, you know, I understood from the rest on.
Okay.
Okay. From the sons of Joseph, from the descendants of Ephraim, all the men 20 years old and more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Ephraim was 40,500. From the descendants of
Manasseh.
all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number of the tribe of Manasseh was 32,200.
So how many eligible tribes from the Ephraim tribe?
40,500.
How many eligible men from the Manasseh tribe?
32,200.
How many total eligible men from Ephraim and Manasseh?
72,700.
How many total eligible men from the prior page?
337,850.
And how many total eligible men so far?
410,550.
What tribe's eligible men is the largest so far?
Well, I'm going to have to go
Judah.
back.
It'd be Judah. Give you the answer quick.
Okay, thank you.
And then what tribe's eligible men is the smallest so far? And you would have this right.
I had Manasseh.
Yeah, it will be the smallest. Yeah, it's the smallest so far.
Okay. Okay. From the descendants of Benjamin, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Benjamin was 35,400. From the descendants of Dan, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribe of Dan was 62,700. Since all that repeats itself, shouldn't I just say Benjamin 35,400 and Dan 62,700?
Well, yes, but you're not giving the scripture. I mean, you're going to have this worse in the next book, actually. But but it is important. Okay, how many eligible men from the Benjamin tribe?
35,400.
How many eligible men from the Dan tribe?
62,700.
How many total eligible men from Benjamin and Dan tribes?
98,100.
And the total eligible men from the prior page?
410,550.
How many total eligible men so far?
508,650.
And what tribe's eligible men is the largest so far? It'd be Judah.
So he's going to be the
largest. And then the smallest so far would be Manasseh.
Okay. Thank you. From the descendants of Asher, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families. The number from the tribes of Asher was 41,500. From the descendants of Naphtali, all the men 20 years old or more who were able to serve in the army were listed by name according to the records of their clans and families, and the number of the tribes of Naphtali was 53,400.
Okay, so this is the last of these pages. How many eligible men from the Asher tribe?
41,500.
How many eligible men from the Naphtali tribe?
53,400.
How many total eligible men from Asher and Naphtali?
94,900.
How many total men from the prior page?
508,650.
And how many total eligible men so far?
603,550.
And what's the tribe's eligible men is the largest so far?
That's Judah.
And the largest would be Manasseh. Okay. So this is a side page, but this way we know if our totals are correct. So how many Israelites approximately are there at this time? So we know the totals are on the far left side, and that comes to 603,550. Generally, Bible scholars believe that's 70% of the total males. So if you look at, and you break that down now, you've got 862,214 males. Well, if the males equal the females, and then we're making approximations here, but it gives us some idea. And then you've got the same amount there, and then 25% of the males for children. The total, you're roughly at 2 billion people that are traveling.
Yeah,
This is
that's
not counting the Levites either. We're not even counting the Levites. We know that the Levites probably are about under 20,000. So it may make up the difference here. But yeah, wow. The tribes
That's
are
a lot.
counted by where they are stationed around the tabernacle, southeast, west, and north. So
It's amazing.
yes,
Just
it is
thinking of
amazing.
feeding all those people.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And in the book that I'm doing now, they're complaining a lot again. So
Okay. These were the men counted by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel, each one representing his family. All of the Israelites 20 years old or more who were able to serve in Israel's army were counted according to their families. The total number was 603,550.
right.
Yeah. Okay. The ancestral tribe of the Levites, however, was not counted along with the others. The Lord had said to Moses, "You must not count the tribe of Levi or include them in the census of the other Israelites."
Right. What tribe was not included in the military census?
The ancestral tribe of the Levites.
Right. The Levites. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they to be counted at all?
No.
Yeah, they are not counted here, but they will be counted later. But they'll be counted later in Numbers 3 for a different reason. Why are the Levites handled so differently? God had a special design for the Levites. Interestingly, we saw them being picked as special in Exodus 28:29 before we found out why. I had always assumed before digging deep into the scriptures that the Levites were picked as priests because Moses and Aaron were Levites. However, God gave Moses the special design for the work of the Levites around the tabernacle temple in Exodus 28:29 before the event that distinguished them as unique among the tribes, which happens below. So God already told Moses what the Levites are going to do, but we didn't know why the Levites were picked until Exodus 32. And you recently, I think we've read this. Moses saw that the people were running wild and that Aaron had let them out of control and so became a laughing stock to their enemies. This is right after the golden calf. So he stood at the entrance to the camp and said, "Whoever is for the Lord, come to me." And all the Levites rallied to him. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Each man strap a sword to his side, go back and forth through the camp from one end to the other, each killing his brother and friend and neighbor." The Levites did as Moses commanded, and that day about 3,000 of the people died. Then Moses said, "You have been set apart to the Lord today, for you were against your sons and brothers, and he has blessed you this day." So this is what
That was
sets them apart.
awful.
I know it was
That was
awful.
awful.
I know it
When
was
I
awful.
read that, I thought, "Oh my gosh, that's
I know.
sad."
But there are times when God asks and the people do or don't. But anyway, but that's when they were set apart. Even though God had already told Moses what Levites were going to do, Moses did not know why. Now we had Y, and so they are set apart. Since the Levites were not to be counted for the military census, does this mean that they were exempt from fighting? What do you think?
Well, I think God has something special for that for the Levites. I don't
Right.
know what though.
Yeah, they were
Not yet.
exempt from fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Instead, appoint the Levites to be in charge of the tabernacle of the covenant law over all its furnishings and everything belonging to it. They are to carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings. They are to take care of it and encamp around it. Whatever the tabernacle is to move, the Levites are to take it down, and whatever the tabernacle is to be set up, the Levites shall do it. Anyone else who approaches it is to be put to death.
Right. Notice the first word of verse 50. Instead. Instead of what?
Yeah, instead of being counted for the army.
Right. Instead of being counted for the army. What are the
Yeah.
Levites to be in charge of?
The tabernacle of the covenant law over all its furnitures and everything to it.
Right. When the Israelites were traveling, what were the Levites to carry?
The tabernacle.
Yeah, and everything that had to do with it, yes. When the Israelites camped, who was to be in the inner circle around the tabernacle?
Levites.
Who alone was to take down and put up the tabernacle?
The Levites.
What happens if a male other than a Levite tried to help?
Be put to death.
Yeah.
The Israelites are to set up their tents by division, each of them in their own camp under their standard. The Levites, however, are to set up their tents around the tabernacle of the covenant law so that my wrath will not fall on the Israelite community. The Levites are to be responsible for the care of the tabernacle of the covenant law. The Israelites did all this just as the Lord commanded Moses.
So this is how they're going to be set up in their formation. Now, one of the things that we know when we're looking at a map of their travel from Mount Sinai up to the Promised Land is most of the time they are going to be going north, actually, not east. The east troops are the first ones that will go out. So they're going to follow the pillar of cloud or fire. And so the pillar of cloud or fire is going to go along. And then when it stops, the tribes of the east, which are first, are now going to have to situate themselves in the east so that everybody is situated the way they're supposed to be. And that's how that works. We get into that a whole lot more in the next book. That's why I know this.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah.
It's amazing how they set it up like that, which goes where.
Yeah, yeah. What are the dark
Amazing.
circles in the graph to the side indicate?
Leading tribe information.
Right. Based on the scriptures, what tribe was the Merarites, Gershonites, Kohathites, Moses, and the priests part of?
Levi.
Why were the Levites between the tabernacle and the rest of the tribes?
My wrath will not fall on the Israelites community.
Right. Now, that kind of, I'm not always sure what I get to that, but in truth, we are looking about people who are always sinning. So,
Yep.
he's frustrated sometimes and of course, the book I'm writing now is going to see a lot of that. But so they at least take care of the tabernacle and everything like that. So they kind of protect the Israelites from his anger. So that's why this is that one. I don't know that if you need help, but I have the answer. Of course, the answer is in the back of the book.
I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was hard from the ones that I'm used to.
Yeah, well, that's true. I'm going to stop it here.